Texas Trade Talks with Paul Watson.
Hi, I'm Paul with Texas Trade Talks.
I'm Joe.
We've got a special guest with us. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's been on News Channel 10. He's been, he's hosted several different events. His name is Shane Jones.
Shane Jones.
How you doing
What's
today,
up,
buddy?
Paul? What's going on, boys? How y'all doing?
Here.
Doing all right, Bubba. You're in the tree business, right?
I am in the tree business.
All right.
Big trees, little trees, dead trees.
Big wood.
I even get stumped every now and then.
I
Got all the tree jokes.
don't know about saying I'm being stumped.
Just saying, I got a lot of branch managers.
Got little branches out here, huh?
I'll be here all week.
Branching out and stuff.
Right.
That's funny. So Shane, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally?
So I am originally from Amarillo, Texas. I think I'm 5 generations deep in Amarillo, Texas. My great grandfathers came over from North Carolina on a covered wagon,
Okay.
opening Assembly of God Church all the way to this point.
Really?
Yep.
All right. So what led you to the wood business?
The old wood business. Oh man, I back in '93, I graduated high school. I got out. I'm my probably a 3rd generation builder remodeler. I did that for a long time, but I really loved trees, tree trimming. I had an old guy, big old long beard, the guy that had the oxygen machine smoking. He was too old to do the trees anymore, but he was like kind of took me under his wing and started showing me all different kinds of stuff. And the remodeling business was crazy because you get stuck on a job for months.
Yeah.
Same place. And I got into the trees, and you're at one spot, you get this tree done, and then you load up and you go to a whole new atmosphere, a whole new scene.
It's quick.
It's quick. It's good money, good people. It's just more my speed. That's just my personality and who I am. I can't be stuck in one spot very long.
I feel you. I think that's something that we both dealt with in our past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be stuck in one place for too long.
Yeah.
So that's
Stay stagnant.
I think that's what made service interesting, because you a different kind, different problem, different repair approach, different customer, different set of circumstances. So it at least kept it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
So when did you officially join Tree? So you said you were doing new remodels.
Yeah. So I mean, I've always just been the my own boss. I've always made my own money and done my own thing. I've never really worked for anybody. So, I started off sheetrock and concrete, and we did remodels. And actually, when I moved to Dallas, which is the reason I have the 214 number, which everyone's wondering why I don't have an 806 number. I moved to Dallas for 10 years, but I got down there, I started painting, I started remodeling, I started doing that stuff. So I had the trees prior. I went to Dallas. I didn't do trees in Dallas. Trees in Dallas are totally different from Amarillo trees.
Totally different beast.
Totally different beast down there. But I got into roofing down there actually, and I did roofing.
Really?
Pretty good sized roofing company.
All right. So now we got a rocker, we got a remodeler, we got a tree professional, and now you did a little bit of roofing. All right.
I was a pretty good sized GC for a little while, but and I got back to Amarillo. I had to come back to Amarillo to take care of family.
Okay.
Had some dementia and some elderly family members that needed us, and so we moved back after the kids graduated. And my son was like, "Dad, I want to start a business. I want to be my own boss too." He just saw what I did,
Right.
and I was like, "All right." So we actually started off power washing.
Nice.
Something small just to kind of show him, how to be a boss and how to make out a receipt book and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then a tree job popped up, and I was like, "This is what we need to be doing."
He's all right. I've done that
And
before.
so I was like, "I already know how to do this. I already know what's up. I know a ton of people here.
Right.
Let's just get it." And we did, and we have. It's been one heck of an awesome ride. The last 5 years, 6 years have just been so much fun. With the trees, we've grown year after year, just killing it. And it helps because I'm from here and I know a lot of people, but I've met so many people. And the nonprofit that I'm involved with is really a game changer too, turning the corner.
Right.
And it's a big deal for me. We work hard, we play hard, and then you put that nonprofit in there and you start giving back. and it just tenfold. And I'm just like, thank you, God, for the blessings.
Well, I was gonna, talk about your, as the way you put it, your smoking hot wife.
Yeah, right.
Talk a little bit about Connie. But since you bring up your nonprofit, I think that's a perfect opportunity to talk about that and, educate people on what it is that your nonprofit does. Bridging the Gaps. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys have been right at just over a year now, right?
In about 3 months or so. Yeah.
Okay.
So still kind of brand new-ish.
Yeah. We're still new, but it's grown so much. It's ever evolving. It is just
you got to go with the flow with it, right?
It's God's masterpiece, and He's painting it stroke by stroke, day by day, and I can feel each brush move, and it's like, whoa, okay, I see what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Going this way.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this is cool.
So you get a sense of gratification from that. I can take it.
I do.
It's
feel
huge.
Yeah, well, it's passionate here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
probably a new grown passion. I'm pretty sure it wasn't just like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do today. Pretty sure it came from a heart. Somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, so you're walking around town when you're 20, 30 years old, whatever, and you see that guy on the corner. He's hungry. It's like, how do you help that guy?
Right.
I get up, I do this job every day. I've got my wife, I got my kids, I got my life going on, and you see that guy, and you're just like, how do I help? And the first thing you think of is someone pull out $20 and give him $20. But did you really help that guy?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, did you really help?
Did you enable him, or did you?
Right.
Did you? You know what I mean? Did you teach him how to fish, or did you give him the fish?
Right. And it's I think most everybody's that way, especially when you're driving down the street and you pull up at the light and you see the guy with the sign. You're like,
do I want to help?
Some of us are like, I know that guy probably has a house down the street and he makes more money than I do. And some people are like, that guy really needs help. And some guys are like, I'm too scared to roll down my window. There's all different viewpoints of it.
Sure.
Right.
But how do you actually help that guy? How do you actually better his life? And that was me back in the day with just like a racehorse with the blinders.
Right, yeah.
That's all I could see. Was that guy.
Right, yeah,
Television.
And literally, God just ripped all that off my face and said, "Here's the whole picture."
Here's what you need to be looking at.
So I want to touch on a little bit. I do know, correct me if I'm wrong, but Darren, your lead guy who's since moved on to helping out with the nonprofit.
Right.
He's following his heart there. But correct me if I'm wrong. That was way before Bridging the Gaps was even a thing for you, correct?
Kinda, yeah. It was kind of that's. I think that he was kind of like my first guy that I ever really just truly just opened up and just helped, and took a real chance on. And
he's a great guy. He's fantastic.
Yeah. And I want to say this real quick before we get too deep into this, because I'm going to say a lot of stuff here. And if you're a person with passion and heart, don't just run down and grab a homeless guy and move him in and try and help him and do all this stuff.
Yeah. There's a process.
Yeah.
Right?
I would tell you to maybe a year ago, but to where I'm at today, I would say stop. Get with the Chris Israel at Homeless Heroes. Get with the Shane Jones at Bridging the Gaps. Get with somebody that has some experience. The coming home unit. All those different. There are things that you need to pay attention to. It can be dangerous. I don't want to scare anybody off, but
well, I mean,
when you're dealing with homeless, you're dealing with a scale
right.
from A to Z. I mean, you could
you don't
accomplish.
exactly
You can
what.
run into anything.
Yeah, you don't know their past or
Right,
anything or
right.
what they're dealing
Well,
with.
the past and the mental issues. There's a whole variety of things that you can run across. Yeah. So you want to be careful. You want to make sure you're always with somebody. You want to make sure that you approach the situation properly.
So when you guys in the beginning, correct me if I'm wrong, you've teamed up with Coming Home, with the Amarillo program that the city of Amarillo puts on with who's that, Betty Kano,
Justin Ward
and Justin Ward,
Riddlesberger, and yeah.
I hope Betty doesn't. But I didn't say her last name wrong.
No, I can't say it either, brother.
Kind of. It's cool. It's cool. Last time I actually used to have a friend in school that had the last name. So, but before when you guys were doing that, you were handling way more than you bit a big piece of the pie, and so how is that new coalition that you have formed with the City of Amarillo Coming Home program and some of the other programs that are kind of semi-attached to that? How has that changed things for you?
I'll take it back a little bit so that way we can work into that, because it's lead up to it a little bit. When I first kind of got into this, I had a need to help people. I had a business that I needed some employees. I needed some people to pick up branches, you know, and I'm thinking, where do I find these people to help me? And that's when I was like, there's a whole workforce right here, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I started working those guys, but I didn't know anything. I didn't know what to do or how to approach it. And that's when the lights just went off, and we literally just walked step by step. This works. This doesn't work. This works. This doesn't work. And we just kept maneuvering around each corner until we found the proper path. And it led us, back in the day, we would just literally get a homeless guy off the street, bring him in, work him, and try and, you know, here's some money. Here's this, here's that. We're just trying everything we can, and we're learning the lessons along the way, taking the lashes as we go, as I like to say.
Right.
You know, it's you would think you work a guy all week and you hand him a paycheck that it's going to help him. But believe it or not, when you hand a homeless guy a big old paycheck at the end of the week, that's not going to help him. That actually hurts him.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Because he's,
You're not helping like the situation inside of them.
Yeah.
You're just kind of helping them with whatever addiction or problem.
Yeah. Well, it's almost comparative to if we won the lottery, what first thing I'm going to go do is buy me a new Corvette, a new pickup,
all the stuff
do
you don't
this.
need.
I'm going to do all this stuff I
all
don't
the
need.
stuff you don't need.
Same thing with the homeless guy.
Yeah.
Here's $500. $500.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo!
That's a lot of money.
That's
Let's
prime
get-
money.
That'll buy
Let's
some
go
beer.
good,
That'll buy
man.
some cigarettes. Maybe you
Exactly.
can get a little something.
And that's what that leads to. And then you don't see them the next week. And, you know, then they're just right back in the same hard position they were in. So
So you were dealing with that, and then, you know, of course, you hosted. You guys put on that first show in June. The guitars and
Boot Scoot and Boogie.
Boot Scoot and Boogie.
Yep.
That's right. And so, you know, that was a pretty big success.
It was amazing.
So, and I mean, by that point, you were 4 months into this whole thing, and so I mean that you know, the organization behind that, getting all the different people that involved with that, setting that up, organizing it, getting the bands there, getting, you know, all the different elements there, you know, from a outside looking in, you know, my hat's off to you know, because you're walking a line in an area that you've never really been in, and you were able to create something from nothing. You know what I mean?
It's funny you say that, because I you know, we got this thing going, and I said we're gonna have to have funds. I know this is gonna grow, and I know we're gonna need a minivan. I know we're gonna need all this stuff to for this nonprofit to work and operate. And I was like, let's do a fundraiser, okay? And as I'm going through that, it's massive. We're talking 500-600 people. We're talking food. How do you feed them? How do you do all this stuff? And everyone's looking at me like, oh my God, you're taking on so much. And in the back of my mind, the whole time I'm thinking, I grew up in the 80s or 90s. I know how to throw a party.
Right? You know how to get down.
Let's just have a party.
Yeah.
And let's just take all of the restraints off it, you know. And that's what I did. You know, I got a cool band, which was Cameron James Smith. I heard him at a Christmas party like 3 or 4 months before, and he plays amazing music. And I thought it was going to be expensive. I thought it was going to be crazy. I didn't know how to do it, and I just asked him, "Hey, I'm doing this. Can you help?" Yeah. And I'll walk you through that real quick. You know, like the food. I'm like, okay, music done. Okay, and now I got to feed these people. What do I do? And my first thought was, let's get all the barbecue joints together, have a cook-off amongst them, and then they can feed the people. And then I thought, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of people to get, you know, a lot of moving parts.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of elements.
And so I said, what about affiliated? And everyone was like, no, affiliated's not. No, they're out. And I just walked into affiliated. I said, hey, my name's Shane Jones. This is what I need, and this is what I'm doing. This is what it's for. And they said, here's 580 pounds of brisket.
You know.
And I was like, what?
Want to know what that reminds me of, brother? My dad always used to tell me, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Yep. And so I walked out of there, and I'm thinking, God, now how am I going to cook 580 pounds of brisket? I'm thinking, oh, how's this going to work? And, you know, affiliated's right down the street from Spicy Mike's. So I thought, well, I'm just going to ask all the barbecue joints to cook a little portion of it, and we'll represent them as well. I pulled into Spicy Mike's, and he said, no need. I got it all. I'll take care of it. He said, by the way, I'll throw in the beans and the bread.
Oh, no.
I don't know if y'all know Spicy Mike's, but his heart is solid gold. He is one of the best men I know. He's got a great story behind him as well, but Spicy Mike's amazing. But anyway, so now I got Spicy Mike doing the food. So music's covered, food's covered. Now I'm thinking
Venue.
we've got to have a venue. You know, this is going to be crazy expensive. Mind you, we didn't have any money in the bank. We had actually DJ Steuben at Welcome Partner. She had the Kiwanis Club donate us $125 check. That was our first check we started with. Here's $125.
Go DJ.
And to back up just a little bit, we went down. I said, guys, we're gonna have to raise some kind of money. We went to the bowling alley and had a bowling tournament.
Right.
A bunch of people jumped in and just started supporting us. You know, they don't know how to bowl, but we had a bowling party. I think we raised $5,000-6,000. That $5,000 or $6,000 then led us into, you know, being able to pay for Cameron James Smith. And so I'm thinking, okay, venue, now we're going to spend a lot of money. The Civic Center, I didn't know where to go. I had no clue. I've got a good friend, Shane Redlawn, owns the FBO out at River Falls. He owns
Red Light
Jack's
Transport.
Transport.
Yeah.
And I'd flown with him a bunch, and I'd seen his big hangar and all that stuff. And I called him. I said, Shane, I need to throw a little benefit. You mind if I do it in your airplane hangar? And he was like, you got it. Didn't even bat an eye.
That's
Just,
awesome.
You know,
That's awesome.
and he does a bunch with Snack Pack for kids, and he's just a really good guy.
Yeah, he's pretty heavily involved with the community.
He flies to Mexico and does teeth and builds houses and does all kinds of stuff. He's a good guy.
Nice.
But anyway, so now we got a venue, and then it just kept snowballing. Rick Luby, if you don't know Rick Luby,
Man, Rick's a trip. I like old Rick. He's a good dude.
He is. He
Yeah.
steps up at every nonprofit, every function. He's there.
I can't think of one I've been to that he hasn't been there.
Same here. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, Rick. And he was like, man, I got this place in Destin. Let's put it up. You can auction it off. And then I got another guy that offered a trip. And then actually Redline offered 7 nights and 7 days in Cabo at one of his places out
Man,
there.
that's just
a vacation.
fantastic.
Exactly.
Man,
I'm like,
that's
whoa.
fantastic.
So, and then, you know, I've been here 5 generations. One of my wife's uncle is Rick Lovelady, Carpet Tile. So
Okay.
we went in and said, hey, Rick, man, what can you do? They threw up a $5,000 home makeover. I went to Kraus because we do some trees for Kraus.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's
Kraus
right.
said, we'll do a $5,000 landscaping makeover. And it just kept snowballing. Now, I've partied in the 80s and 90s. I know how to throw a party, but I didn't know how to throw one like this. I learned a
You
lot.
didn't know how to
I learned
throw
a
an
ton.
adult party.
Yeah. We hollered at Bomb City Armory, and they came in and they said, look, this is what we're going to do. We'll sell you all these guns at cost. You don't have to pay for them right now. We'll auction them off, whatever above that is, you guys keep, and then just pay us our bill for the, you know, so that way
for the
we're not out of
fighters.
money.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, great. So he brought like 20 or 30 guns. We've got all these trips, and people are just they're hearing about it, and we had just tables and tables and tables of stuff. And we get up there, and I've got Cameron James Smith playing. He plays for about 20 minutes, and I was like, Cameron, let's auction a few things off because we've got so much to do. And he started auctioning stuff off, and we kept auctioning stuff off. And by the time I look up, it's like 9:30. Cameron's his whole thing is almost done. I think he played for 20 minutes at the beginning and like 20 minutes at the end, and we had him for 4 hours. But the auctioneer just
Didn't
just went through
correct me
it
if
like
I'm
crazy.
wrong. Donda helped
Donda.
you. Yeah, Donda Cordova helped you
Donda
with
at
that.
Double D,
Double S auctions.
Double S auctions. Yeah. Her and her daughter came out and did that for us. And,
She's
a good lady.
Yeah, I like Donna. She's a little firecracker. You know what I mean? You can tell she's got a big heart.
Yeah.
But do not give her crap. She's not. You can tell she's not going to take it.
She's going to get in the middle of you for sure.
Oh yeah, I admire that.
But yeah, so we end of the day, I think we brought in total after everything was done about 80,000, 85,000,
fantastic.
somewhere in that range. But and that was the birth of the financial side and everything that we needed to get Bridging the Gap started.
Yeah, you've had a couple different events since then, and organized them. I think you and everybody that's involved with Bridging the Gaps really showed that if you sit on your butt and you wonder how, and you don't do anything, you're never going to get anything.
Yeah.
But as long as you start, as long as you move forward, the ball's going to roll. Can't guarantee where it's going to roll to,
Right.
but you've got it rolling. So let's talk about it a little bit present today. We know you've done some amazing things. Let's hear a little bit more about how you came together with the Coming Home program and how that's helped you and your mission. And you had also said that you've got some legislation that you're trying to put together right now. So let's go through that.
So that's some of the hurdles that we've gone through step by step that I was telling you about, where we just plowed forward knowing where we needed to go. We just didn't know how to get there. Yeah. And so we just had to trial by error, and like I said, we would get the homeless guy in, and we were doing everything. Just a raw guy working for me. I'm having to deal with the whole shebang, which is maybe his addiction problem, maybe his driver's license, maybe his birth certificate,
emotional support, all of that
emotional
too.
support, being a boss, the whole 9 yards. I'm doing it all, and I'm just like, man, this is hard. This is tough. It's a lot more than you think it is. And so as we evolved, we ran into, I can't even remember where we came across Coming Home. I don't even know how we actually ran into those guys, but
I'd be willing to bet it was one of those city hall meetings that you sit on.
It could be. But immediately when we did work with those guys, their passion, their heart, the whole Coming Home department at Amarillo. So I don't know if people know this, but they are not connected. They are connected with the city of Amarillo, but they are a nonprofit, and they get grants and funding that way. It's not taxpayer.
It's not like the city council sitting there saying, all right, well,
here's your budget. Yeah. It's more of they get their own federal dollar. They do drive some city vehicles, and they do office at the city building. And I think that's about as far, but I don't know their exact structure. I know Riddlesburger used to be, I don't even really want to go there because I don't know the story. I don't want to tell something I don't know. But it's what I do know is Justin Ward and the entire Coming Home department are all heart. They're all passion. They're in the streets day in, day out. You should have seen it when we had the snowstorm. Right. These guys are out driving, walking in the snow, rounding these homeless up and getting them to the warming stations and that kind of stuff. It was amazing to see.
In fact, Betty had a pretty good story. She had the one gentleman that he lived next to the dumpster, had that one blanket, and he was real reserved, kind of standoffish, and she had been working on him for a little while, and she was able to get him to get in the vehicle and go somewhere and get warm and. So I've seen a lot of heart from because we go to those meetings every Tuesday. Just so you guys know, every Tuesday at the Panhandle War Memorial at 12:00, Shane Jones and the Bridging the Gaps crew and the supporting businesses that are a part of Bridging the Gaps, they have a meeting every Tuesday at 12:00.
12:00. And we supply lunch, so you come eat a little something. Yeah. It's
little something.
Yeah. It's a really cool deal. But with that, just like you were saying with the homeless guy with the little tent thing, I went out and I ran into a homeless guy. It was cold, snowing, and I'm asking him. You can tell he needs help, and I'm like, brother, let me get you to a warming station. And he's like, nah, I've got my cart and I've got my dog, and I don't like going to those places. Yeah. And I'm like thinking.
Dangerous in there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, man, you rather hold on to this dog in this shopping cart than. And I was like, brother, we can put it in the back of the truck and take it all. You're all welcome. Your dog, your shopping cart, everything. Right. Let's get you warm, man. Let's get you some food. And he's like, nope. I used to be in Vietnam. I know how to take care of myself. Get out of here.
And I'm a soldier.
Like, and you really want to. It's like, brother, just let me help you. And you can't. And that's. Goes back to a little thing like with Chris Israel. Chris is always saying, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. And, I try and get those little nuggets from each person that's been through this.
Yeah.
And that's when I started saying, you know what? I think Betty and the Coming Home department, they need to be working on the support of that. I'm a boss. I'm a tree guy. I know how to work these people. I know how to help them that way. Let me do that, and let's let everybody stay in their lane and help how they need to help.
Right.
I'm not a mental expert. I'm not a.
Don't even pretend.
Yeah, I just I tried to tackle the whole thing at one time, and I found out pretty quick I need to back up.
Failures are, what your strong points are,
Yeah.
as far as what you're trying to.
Yeah, because
achieve.
if I'm trying to help you, it's hard for me to be your friend, to be your mentor, to be your boss, to be all of those hats
It's a lot
at
of
the
hats
same
to wear.
time.
Yeah, it's a lot of hats to wear.
Can't do it. You've got to have
the right person,
the right piece in the. And here's something else that was really cool that we found. So I went down and I toured another Chance house.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing facility. I mean, it's huge. It's massive. There's how many is it? Like 20 or 30 buildings.
Oh, wow.
Houses.
I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was
I
either.
didn't either. I had no clue. I saw it. I looked at it. It was amazing. You come in, you see their kitchen, you see all their stuff. Great people. And then like the next week I just pulled up to Faith City Mission. I walked in. I was like, hey, I want to check this out. They invited me in. Have you ever been there?
No, never been. Maybe
it's
maybe be gracious enough and give us a tour.
Yeah, for sure. But it's crazy. Their facility is top notch. I mean, they know what they're doing. But I was talking to them, and neither one of them had ever really went to each other's facility.
They never like shared like ideas.
Yeah, and the coming home, I don't think had ever been to one of them or something like of that nature. But
like they weren't communicating with each other.
like they were just doing their own thing.
Everybody's doing the same thing, but not talking.
Yeah, and so I hollered at all of them. I was like, "Let's have a meeting." We all got in the same room, and I was like, "Hey, this is this guy. This is this guy," and we all were like, "Cool."
Yeah,
and we've all went and looked at each other's stuff and how it's going, how it's rolling. And I'm like, guys, we're all on the same path.
We're all doing the same thing. We're just not.
Yeah, let's not change what each of us are doing, but let's lock arms and just and walk the path together.
Be a combined force.
Be a combined force. You know, that way.
Smart.
And what that kind of stemmed from was, you know, I would be working a guy, and I would ask him, you know, he's like, yeah, I was down at Faith City Mission, but I didn't like that. And I went over to this place, and it was great. And just the opposite, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wonder if these guys knew about each other, they could just start.
You know,
it would be a much easier path for everyone to figure out where we're going.
Oh yeah, gives clear roles,
right? And
so the people that do want to participate, the people that do want to learn how to fish,
right,
and not be handed fish, right, it gives them clarity on where they can go,
right,
with each and how each one can support them in their mission.
Right.
So I think it's a fantastic idea that you guys did it.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that you had done that. I feel bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. It's easy to forget a bunch of this because there's so many fingers and branches to this thing. We haven't even got into the dentist part or the eye doctors, or there's so many more parts to this. It's unbelievable.
You've even had Mayor Cole Stanley
come
out. He's came out and supported you in the event. He's been there at the meetings, the lunch meetings,
boogie, all of it.
And you know he's I love Mayor Cole Stanley. I think he's a great guy.
He's an amazing guy.
And I don't think people realize how much he actually does for the community behind the scenes.
Right.
And that's okay. He doesn't do it for recognition. He does it because he wants to.
He's a good, solid-hearted guy.
He really is.
He's not all about the fame, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, he's not about that at all. He saw a need and decided that he might be able to fix it. So, and then, you know, you've had Tim Reed come in. You've had David Prescott come in and help.
Don Tips.
Don Tips. So, I mean, that's almost the majority of the city council right there.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the sines, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you in is, you know, to kind of shine some light on that, you know, how local businesses are trying to help and give back to the very communities that give to them. Yeah.
And to another thing about the nonprofit, because I'm approaching it from a business perspective. I'm a business guy. I'm running my business. I would think a lot of people, I don't know this for a fact, but you have nonprofits that operate in a nonprofit manner because someone maybe felt sorry for someone or wanted to help.
Right.
And I came at it looking at it like, how can I work this guy? It was I needed something and they needed something, and we can get together and make something happen. And so I'm approaching my nonprofit more like a business. And so when I come to another business and I'm needing something, I want to be able to reciprocate with that person.
Needing a need, serving a need.
Yeah. And I think that's the way the world goes around. The best way is I need something from you and you need something from me. Let's make it happen.
Make these needs.
I can't just keep coming to you asking for gimme.
Handouts constantly.
No, you've had us out when you're guys. That was a tight spot. That was that you know. But you know, you've had us out to come out and fix things. Likewise, we've had you come out and take care of stuff on the personal side. So I get it. It's how did Ron and Kenyon put that? It's a rotary service.
Yeah.
You know, it comes back.
Yeah, full circle.
Around. Yeah, full circle. So,
man. Everybody helping everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, really, truthfully, with the way the world is nowadays, everybody wants to, and you know, I shouldn't use such a broad statement. My wife would kill me if she heard me saying that. You know, she doesn't like the broad. Yeah, you know, she doesn't like the broad statements. But it seems like everybody's gotten hyper focused on themselves, their own wants, their own emotional neediness. And you know that's one of the things that I like about you. You know, you're level headed. You don't have you have heart, but you don't have this irresponsible sense of emotion, if you will.
Yeah.
You don't. Your emotion doesn't govern how you run your life.
Right.
And I think
you can't be emotional and be, you know, trying to be the boss of everything because you know emotional.
Sure.
And that's one of the things I admire about you. You make decisions rooted in logic, and you're not scared. But you know.
Hey.
He's not scared to get wet.
Not
scared to get muddy. I mean, it takes a lot of gut, a lot of fortitude to be able to go into especially into a nonprofit sector, and then try to operate a nonprofit, make it successful, actually accomplish your mission. Yes, you had a business side to that too, but there's also heart there, and for you to be willing to step out and make that. Take that challenge, and not know where you're going.
You had a.
That's heart used in the right
path,
way. Well, it's heart used in the right way.
Let me tell you the story about the housing situation. You know, I've got this first guy, I'm working him, and I'm like, where are we going to house this guy? He's homeless, so how are we going to do this? And so that path was we went into like 211, the emergency where they can help you with rent and that kind of stuff. Right. I went in, I'm talking to him, and that just immediately fell through because their grants wouldn't cover what we were really trying to do. And I'm just like, okay. So I had actually made my way to an apartment complex over I-27 in Georgia, somewhere in that area. And I went in, they had just remodeled like a whole wing and they were all open, all vacant. Oh, wow. And I get to talking to the lady and I explained to her the situation, what we're kind of trying to do. And she got with the owners and the owners were great with it. And I was like, okay. And so I roll up in there the next day to come in to like finalize it because I'm praying about it, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, is this the right spot? You know, right move, is this going to work? And because I'm nervous, I'm scared to death. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just pushing this thing forward. And so I pull up to the deal. It's the gate. It's a gated little apartment deal. Okay. I pull up to the gate, and it's not open. They've got the little deal with the camera and the little push pad. I'm pushing on it. Nobody's answering. Oh, no. I sit there for like 20 minutes. I swear it was like 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Middle of the daytime. Nobody's coming. Nobody's going. No activity. I'm like,
this fell out.
Yeah. So I'm like, what is going on here? And so then I called the number, called in the office. No answer. Nothing. It's like a ghost town. So I'm thinking, okay, well, so I go across the street and I eat at Waffle House. I said, I'm going to grab some breakfast. We'll come back over. I don't know what's going on. Come back over. I sit there for another 30 minutes, like 2 hours later, waiting for this gate, waiting for some sign of life. And I remember just looking up going, what am I supposed to do, guy? Is this not the path? And I just immediately got the name in my head, Bobby Tyler. He's a Keller Williams realtor here in town guy. But
yeah, he's former military too, correct?
But you know, he sells a lot of to me, my image of him, he's a more high end realtor. He does big multi-million-dollar houses that are, you know, big stuff. Yeah. I never thought he would have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, just a little place to start off a homeless guy. Yeah. And I called him and I said, Bob, you got anything? He goes, yeah, I got a whole apartment complex. I own 2 apartment complexes. Oh, how many do you need? And I was like,
oh, wow.
Thank you. My bad. It's like I was trying to force that. Right. And every time, and I've noticed that every time I try and force something or push it, my idea, God says, wake up. You're supposed to go this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we did. And we moved a couple in. And then as it evolved up to today, we had a great lady, Tara Smith.
I was going to ask you, how did Tara? I
House
was waiting
Daddy.
to know where did she come into that?
So I had known her for a while. We had done some tree work for her. We had done some cleanouts for her, that kind of stuff. But she came. She's got a big heart. She's very passionate about this. She got in and just kind of loved what we were doing. She kind of the similar story here. She buys tons and tons of properties. Right. She bought 2 motels on the boulevard. And she told herself, she says, Terrace, why did I buy these? I don't deal in hotels on the boulevard. She buys other houses like property.
Yeah, right.
And she said, I completely remodeled it. I got it done. And I'm still thinking, what am I supposed to do with this thing? And then that's when we started kind of connecting. And it was like,
work for both of you.
Bridging the gaps. Boom. Let's do this. Let's put this in. Let's start making this happen. And that's how, to this day, and that's where I wanted to kind of go with this story is, we bought a minivan. We have a driver that goes over, picks these guys up at Charlie's place, at the motel, the Bridging the Gap shop, and takes them to work, distributes them, and then goes and picks them all back and brings it back. But long story short, to get to that point is I pulled into the motel the other day, and the guys are out, they're cooking something on the barbecue. They're talking.
So they got some commodities.
It was like Melrose Place or something. Man, these guys are all just, helping each other, mushing.
Learn how to live again.
And I think that was the same. I pulled up because I was moving a new guy in. I was just starting a new guy. I got him in, and they just came running. They were like, "Hey, dude, you need a pillow?" And the other one went and got a blanket. And the other one said, "Hey, man, I've got some soups. Hey, I've got this." And it was just like they just all were just. I'm like, this guy over here just started. He doesn't have much. But he's like, hey, man, I got an extra pair of work boots. Hey, man, I've got this. And I was just like,
saying that's because
what
they're grateful.
Yeah,
they're grateful.
A lot of people don't get to see that, that the part that I get to see. And I'm just sitting there the whole time, just knee deep smiling in my heart going, thank you, God. This is what this is all about. Brotherhood. These guys are really digging in over here. Yeah. And there's been so many great moments like that for me that I wish the world could see it, but if you're not knee deep in it, you just don't get to see those great big nuggets that God throws on your heart. It makes me keep going every day. And at the end of the day, I don't know where everything's going or where everything's heading, but I know every day I'm going to get up, I'm going to work, and I'm going to give to somebody that needs something to better their life if I can. Right. If I can help a man, I'm going to help him. That's all there is to it.
And that's highly admirable, Bubba.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that all they think about is themselves.
The little thing that they got, their little bubble they live in.
Yeah.
And it's about serving.
Yeah.
And me being in business and after meeting you, that's something that I've learned from the people that I've met through you, that I've learned from you, and I thank you for that, because at the end of the day, it's about serving. It's about taking care of people. It's about taking care of your people that help you take care of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking care of people that can't, and helping wherever you can. I'm not saying that you should go out and give free handouts to everybody, but it's about leading with your heart, and taking care of people. And Bubba, I think you do a fantastic job doing.
Show them the path.
Yeah. So
hand out a fishing pole, not a fish.
That's right.
It's our big motto.
That's right.
Make them earn it. Make them earn it. Don't just hand it out for free.
So for
they respect you.
So for the final segment, or however you want to phrase that, what would you like to end with?
What is your message out there? What are you trying?
Yeah, what's your parting message? But what can you tell the listeners? The lesson.
Parting message? I don't know.
Don't mean to put you on the spot
there. There's so much to it, and I know God has got so much still to show me, and I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for each and every person that I get to meet and I get to see and help along the path. And I don't know. I feel like I'm in a great novel, and I'm in the middle, and I just keep reading page by page. It gets better and better as I'm going, and I don't know. God's already shown me that thought I was going that way, and He's got me over here, and I'm grateful for that. And I don't know which way God's going to take me next, but I know it's going to be exciting. I know it's going to be fun.
Down to go.
We're down. I'm down like 4 flat tires, baby. Let's get out here and change the world together.
4 flat tires. You know what I have to say. My takeaway is, and I'm not trying to take up the time here, but I'd say my takeaway from that is just faith, the power of faith, an undying, unwavering faith, so strong that you don't even see the possibilities of what could be wrong. All you see is the mission and what you're going to accomplish, and having faith that that's going to happen.
I do.
I think that's my takeaway.
Yeah. I'm going to sling some mud. I'm going to get some haters. I'm going to have some of this. I'm going to have some of that. But to be honest with you, I'm too busy marching forward on God's path to even notice
all the hate coming.
If there's any hate, if there's anything getting slung in any direction, I'm too busy focused on the mission to really notice. So I hope I don't make anybody mad. I hope I don't offend anybody. I hope I don't do all that stuff. There's always going to be some, but
you're gonna step on somebody's toes.
Yeah, I'm going to keep plowing forward. I'm going to keep helping people. I'm going to keep building friendships and relationships. I'm going to keep trying to help as many people as I can. I'm going to try and make good money for my family and be able to make enough money to give back as much as I can in every direction I can.
Well, Shane,
that's admirable, man.
That's all I got.
I respect that, brother. I have a lot of respect. Guys, if you need any tree trimming done, or if you know anybody that needs some help in the homeless community, give our man Shane Jones.
Oh, yeah, I trim trees too.
All right. Deuces.
Texas Trade Talks with Paul Lawson. Call Lawson's Plumbing today.